you. Get you on here. So anxious. Jump in and have a meeting.
Boy, Carol needs a taller seat. All you're getting is his bald spot.
Now that Louis is here, we will call this meeting to order. Roll call, please. Commissioners present.
All present.
All right, now let's stand as you wish for the pledge and the application. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with us in this time as we do the business of the county. Help us, guide us, give us the wisdom and the courage to do our job. We ask this in Jesus' name.
Thank you. Consent agenda is last week's minutes and the county clerk's monthly report. I move to approve.
And I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? No table agenda items. Item number 1 would be a bid opening. And we're taking what we're learning from laminate flooring over to courthouse now. So I think we have one bid. We will open publicly. And this will not be decided today. We'll evaluate it and maybe next week we'll have the answer to it. Flooring Systems has legally or officially given us a bid for it. And we think that this is for the Division 3 courtroom, top floor next door. This goes with it. We have samples. Thank you so much. Okay, that bid is open. We go to the next item. And Jeremy, and I misspell Jeremy, it's O-M-Y, will give us a presentation on Presort Mailing Service. Sir, come right on that.
Okay, all right. So I am Jeremy Fritz with Presort Incorporated. We recently acquired all the clients for Direct Media Solutions, which was the vendor that was producing mail for you folks. We started that on August 13th. We've been in business since 1991. Process roughly 1 million pieces of mail a day. We have an infrastructure that takes us all the way to Columbia, Missouri, Sykeston, Poplar Bluff. Everything goes back to our facility every day.
Your facility's where?
In St. Louis on the Hill.
Okay.
If you're familiar with the Hill area, right on Southwest Avenue. We have 120,000 square feet production facility. We automate everything that we produce or everything that we process for the Postal Service. We are a work share partner because we spray barcodes on everything for the Postal Service. They give us a discount and we share that discount with our customers. So by automating everything, we have complete transparency, trackability, some things that probably maybe weren't in place in the past. We have now. We actually have real-time tracking with all the mail that we enter into the mail stream with the Postal Service. So we have roughly 100 people that work for us. We have consolidation facilities in Winsville and in Jackson, Missouri. Soon to be looking to have another one in the southern area. As we grow and our infrastructure grows and we have more clients to pick up, throughout Missouri, it's important to have consolidation facilities. So that's a big agenda item for us right now. So everything we pick up today gets in the mail stream today. The reason it makes sense now to take your mail to St. Louis versus where it wouldn't have made sense a couple years ago, the Postal Service made a lot of changes with production, with the way that they process things. So all the mail down here that maybe used to get processed in Farmington to be delivered in Farmington or anywhere in the surrounding area, now actually goes to the St. Louis processing facility. So because of that, we are actually picking up that mail today, barcoding it today, and getting it in the mail stream today, versus if you gave that mail to the Farmington Post Office and it goes down to the St. Louis Post Office this evening, then it's barcoded tomorrow and probably losing a day of delivery. So this is a good effort for you guys. Wouldn't have made sense a couple years ago, but it definitely makes sense now as the Post Office really tries to figure out how to streamline automation. So that's
now, and help me out, people that are familiar with our mailing system here. We have a mailbox down by the doors going out between the elevator and doors. That's the local post office. Mm-hmm. And they handle that, and they deliver mail, put it in there, and any outgoing mail but we have the metering system, both here and next door, that is our bulk mail, I guess you'd say, from the courthouse, any department. I wish Pam was here because she's the one that's the collector. It's the major mailer on that, I would assume. And so our metered mail goes out, and you're the one who handles the metered mail.
I am, yeah.
All right. Now, they pick up around noon each day.
Yeah, I think our drivers here, I ran into them last time I was here, it was right around 11:30.
Okay, and be the same system there, same person?
Same
all that?
person, we actually, we took over employing the drivers that they had in place at Direct Media.
Okay.
We took that over.
How do the costs compare with your company versus the last?
You're not spending any more money, we kept all price guarantees in place. So what we'll do, we're really big on communication, we will run this for a period of time, typically in January. That's the time that we analyze all of our accounts. We look at two things. One, did you save the money? Did it make sense for you to do it? Two, did we make the money? Did it make sense for us to do that? So if those two factors make sense, we continue as long as you want us to continue. If they don't, we reach out to our point of contact here and we say, hey, you know, this is where we're at on pricing, this is where you're at on savings, you know, we need to make this right. What I will say, so to try to simplify it, automation processing for the post office, there's three basic categories. There's your letters, there's your flats, and there's your parcels. Flats and parcels are a bigger area, bigger opportunity for savings, bigger margins for savings. So you weren't getting those savings in the past when it came to oversized pieces of mail, and we're doing that now. And that'll really help us when we analyze things when January comes around to say, hey, you save even more money because of the efforts that we have in automating the parcels in the flat. You know, so.
Did our existing contract transfer to you upon your purchase?
So I didn't really receive any contracts. We honor, basically what we said is we will honor all the pricing. We will continue the pickups the way that the pickups continue.
So you're not under contract with the county now?
From what I understand, the contract was with Direct Media Association. I needed to come and present to you guys to let you know.
I remember the previous commission okaying that.
Yeah.
And doing that, but I wasn't sure if it was a contract form or just continue as you are type of business.
We operate with just business service agreements, and they're pretty open-ended. You know, if you called me tomorrow and said, hey, Jeremy, we'll pay our bill, we don't need your services, you can do that, and you know, there's no hesitation on our part. But we do have a business service agreement in place. We started with, and that's something that you guys will see in the upcoming months. We basically just started, it's pretty simple, with the new customer form. We had everybody fill that out, so we had all the contact information. We go through a process with the post office because even though we're the vendor for the post office, and they're on the side of our facility, by the way, we have a really good working relationship with the post office. Even though we're the vendor, they want to know who their customers are. So we basically take that new customer information and we get what's called a mailer ID assigned to you. So the post office knows basically how much mail you're doing on an annual basis with them, and they can identify you as a direct customer. We do that with all of our customers. We assign mailer ID, and it's another way of us analyzing that account.
Now, some of our bulk mailings are tens of thousands of pieces. Have a lot of incorrect addresses on that. Is there a way that you can help us track those back?
There is. There's a few different things that we can put in place, and it's probably, you know, a different conversation. But we have, when we run this mail on our sorting machines and we barcode that, these sorting machines, they run at like 30,000 pieces an hour. And they have what's called, we call Move Comply, integrated with that system. So when we're reading the addresses, we're actually online with the post office's Move Update database, and we can capture that information, and we can actually spray the new address on that mail piece.
So you can correct the address.
We can. Now, the thing with the Move Comply, because it is sorting at 30,000 pieces an hour, we can only tap into what we call the 18-month database. So just the last 18 months if they've moved, we tap into that. There's also what's called the NCOA database, and that's something that I strongly recommend to any community or anybody that actually has a database. That's a 48-month database. So if anybody's moved in the last 48 months, we'll run that information against that database, not in live time on a mail piece, but you just give us that database and we can run that database and we can give you all that new information. That way, you know, the plus to that, and the reason I recommend that mostly is because you know, you still have a percentage of addresses that we run through that 18-month database that aren't found, and then you get those pieces returned back to you, especially when you do your big 10,000, 20,000 piece runs. So you want to capture that before you pay for all that print, before you pay for all that postage, and that's an easy way to do that, and that's something that we can help out with.
So there's a trial and error effort going on that we can kind of fine tune our cost a little bit on it.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, getting to January, I think that's gonna be, we wanna get through fourth quarter with you guys, especially since you have all your notices and all that. That'll give us a really good idea. So we don't really look at this like a day by day, because there will be days where it doesn't make sense for you and it doesn't make sense for me. But if I look at the entire year, or more importantly for you guys, if I look at the fourth quarter, that's where I hope that it makes sense for everybody, because the volumes do increase substantially in the fourth quarter.
Anyone else have any questions? Look.
We need to meet with Jeremy in the auditor's office. We have a question concerning the statement.
Okay.
He can help us with it.
Yeah. After this.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you for coming and making that clear. I think when the transition or when the action took place, there's a lot of unanswered questions. And you provided a lot of good answers, and I think we're pleased with that.
Thank you.
I did understand that there was a change in the records you need on the mail pickup, or some kind of log.
So yeah, this has been a little learning curve for us. We're big on quality. If you came to my shop and you've seen, everybody's got a certain job, but we employ probably 5 quality assurance people on a daily basis to make sure that we have good checks and balances. And part of those checks and balances is if I pick up 2 trays of mail from you here at this courthouse, I want to make sure that made it back to my St. Louis dock. That's important because, again, I'm going to a consolidation facility in Jackson, and then I'm picking all that mail up from Jackson and I'm bringing it back to St. Louis. So yeah, we have a 2-part NCR carbon form that we have somebody write down. The piece count is not as important to us as it should be to you, because, if you gave me 200 pieces that day, you want to see if you can build for 200 pieces. But that's up to you guys. What I want to know is how many containers I picked up so that I can track that containers once it gets to me.
But our mail does go from here to Jackson, then to St. Louis.
That's right, yeah.
I was thinking Kate was involved or something.
Yeah, that's our consolidation point right now, and again, those are some of the things that we're gonna analyze, and where the consolidation point will move from as we grow.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, thanks for having me.
Okay, IT personnel, Dan?
I'm requesting to move a part-time IT tech, Nicholas Jones, to full-time status effective January 1st, 2019, with a title change to IT assistant and mules clerk / mules clerk. Nick's been a good addition to our staff since coming on board this year as part-time. Hire as part-time attendance 1 to 2 days a week. It's due to his full-time job, because putting a hamper as far as what we wanted and needed him to do, especially there at the sheriff's department. He's got the specialized skills, he's got the social security and IT worker, his bachelor's, plus he's already got the certification education on what's really important, and that's on the mules and NCIC data entry as well. I've spoken with the sheriff regarding Nick, and we immediately fill his role as a floater type person that the sheriff's department to help with our records clerk for entries, our sex offender and warrant database entry as well. Covering, there's several people that have several weeks vacation there that would be a benefit to have somebody there as a floater type position to fill in. Obviously, his primary location would be at the sheriff's department, but you'd be able to help out here at the annex, the courthouse, and whatever other facilities as well. By having Nick there at the sheriff's department will give me the opportunity to be more familiar, have my friendly face around here in the courthouse more than what it currently is throughout the week. Just to kind of know the more ins and outs as far as the daily operations here on the networking side. So that's my recommendation of the council position. Jones.
Where will he have a desk?
He'll be located at the sheriff's department.
Okay. But he won't be considered a sheriff's department employee.
Correct.
He'll be an IT employee.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So Dan, you've lost your half person there.
Well, I kind of lost in the game too. If you all decide to do this, it'll be better for us in the long run.
So I understand this is a part-time person?
Currently it's part-time, but we're looking to make him a 40-hour employee.
In the next budget?
In the next budget, yeah.
And there's limits to how many hours a part-time worker can work?
40 hours a week. 40 hours a week.
For how long? Is it a half year?
No, we changed that earlier this year as
Oh,
far as
down
the
to using temporary.
Right, the IT department was moved to 40 hours a work week instead of the 35-hour work week, so.
Any other questions? Okay, motion sheets.
That I would move that we, promote Nick Jones to full-time status starting January first.
January 1st, 2019.
Second this motion.
Okay, any questions?
I believe Cape Girardeau is a first-class county, and it's been years since I've talked to the gentleman down there, but I thought at one time they had 5, maybe 6 IT personnel. Charlie Hurst, he's one of the associate commissioners, and he was an IT director at a school district before. And I remember they had a lot of IT, it was a lot, so I thought the sheriff's department.
I was just thinking, I think 2 years ago, we didn't have an IT department, we had 2 individuals. And Dan, you brought that in and coordinated it, now we have one contact place to get if we have a problem. And before we had to know kind of what the problem was, before
Right.
we knew who to call. So you've done that well with that, and I think your addition of Nick, you've tested Nick for the last few months.
Yes.
And so I appreciate that too. Okay, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Okay, next regular meeting, same time, same place next week. Other business, correspondence. Public comment. Departmental reports.
Commissioners, you'll be glad to know that we have received all the budget requests from all departments and from all office holders, and I think possibly set a record for getting them in on time.
And that is wonderful. I remember times in the end of December, we were rushing. Now, a question, when, okay, you've had road and bridge, just turned in a budget lately. And when will that be formalized enough that we can kind of depend on that?
We'll have it immediately, and it'll go to your offices.
Okay, so fairly quickly, we'll have what we call the
Solidify.
How it
prototype
works,
budget, okay.
yeah, we've received the initial request. We'll sit down with the office holders, review it, fine tune it. Those numbers then will be inputted for you to define, refine, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then any questions comes back to us. We can go back to the office holders, and we shoot for October 31st, Halloween, to finalize it if at all possible. I think state statute says it has to be done in December, no later than December. So
Well, let me just talk about what we're talking about. We're talking about needing one more tandem dump truck, 160,000. But it takes a year to get it. And they want it before wintertime next year. So if we get that on order right away, but the money won't be coming out until way up in that budget. But we wanna get it kind of finalized on the budget before we place the order. That's kind of the process. This is on, state list, so it doesn't have to go through seal bid. But that's kind of our thinking on that. So we kind of wanna get this fine tuned before we can jump on the orders.
as long as you approve the budget, they submit the order, and you can find somebody to get it done
Okay.
within the next year, that'd be wonderful.
And I would assume that you guys estimated that and put it into your budget estimate.
Right. They've got,
So,
it's amazing how much shopping they've done. Okay, any other departmental reports?
Move to adjourn.
All in favor? You want to know about the salary? How long is that delay?
Well, it can be anywhere from 2 tenths to 3 seconds.
You can see that.
Depends on.